Okay, here we go. Just started the recording, and then I'm going to pull up the lesson today. So here's our virtual class expectations we view at the beginning of each class. You all do an amazing job with these, so I will move on to the icebreaker question. I know there's 2 questions today, but it's always fun to get to know you guys a little more. So what is your favorite video game or series of video games? I'm a really big fan of playing on my Switch, so I like Mario Kart, is probably my favorite. Luigi's Mansion, Super Smash, Superstars, so Mario Party. Those are some of my favorite games. I had a GameCube and a Game Boy growing up too, so kind of Nintendo games for me. So in the chat, write what your favorite video game is or series of video games is. I also like Minecraft too a little bit. Trying to get into that a little more. Oh, okay. So the first one here is Animal Crossing. I have that on my Switch, but I don't really play it too much. I like Mario Kart 2. On the Switch, they released that pass that you buy, so it expands your like races by double. They like slowly release them, and I bought that a few months ago, so I've been like playing all the new courses and stuff, and they're pretty fun. I don't really play video games. That's totally fine too. I love Grand Theft Auto. I know it's graphic and only for 18 plus, but I enjoy playing it. I also enjoy playing Minecraft sometimes. Yay, another Minecraft fan. Cool. Well, thank you everyone for writing in the chat here about your favorite video game or series of video games. So I'll move on to the agenda. We just did the icebreaker question, and then, oh, there's one more here. I don't play much, but I like to play Forza Horizon or Minecraft sometimes. Sweet, thank you. This week we're starting a new unit, so we'll just take a brief glance at week 10 assignments just to see what we have going on. And then a few weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, was Diwali. We're gonna watch a video on that and then complete a Padlet as our assignment here in class today. And then at the end, any questions you have for Miss G. So if you're ready to get started, just give me a thumbs up or you are ready to go in the chat. Oh, wow. A lot of thumbs up at the same time. Looks like we were ready to get started. Okay, so here's our assignments to start out week number 11. Last week we finished up with Unit 2. I gave you a little extra time to get your test in, and then we had an ed puzzle that kind of transitioned pretty well between the first unit, or not first unit, sorry, the second unit and the third unit we're starting on here. Excuse me. So as you know, we've been starting with reading guides to start each unit. You're filling them out with your textbook as you progress through the world history textbook and through the packet. So this week we're starting on chapter 5, which is India's first empires, and chapter 6, China's first empires. So we're going through that. And then one of the major things that we've been seeing throughout like world history in particular was in the first 2 units, we saw how big Christianity and Judaism were. So now we are going to transition into other major religions such as Hinduism, Buddhism, and Islam. So we're going to focus on the 2 that are the biggest in Asia, which is Hinduism and Buddhism. So you're going to be going through for lesson 3.01 and looking at slides and then filling out like a guided notes. So yeah, those are the 2 assignments for this week. The first assignment, the reading guide, it doesn't have a due date yet, so you'll have plenty of time to work on it. It for sure will not be due until after Thanksgiving, but the second assignment is due on Friday. It's a shorter assignment, shouldn't take too long. So yeah, are there any questions about these 2 assignments before I move on to our Diwali video? And then you can just write in the chat like yes I'm good to go, or no, I don't have any questions, or if you have a question, you could write in the chat. Okay, sweet. I'm seeing a lot of no's. So I will move on to our video here. I'll start it after I share out the questions and the Padlet, so you can do it as we watch. So the questions are, what does Diwali celebrate? So it should be around the 30-second mark within the video. During the video, do you want me to pause and stop to give you some time to answer it, or would you prefer to write them all down at the end? So if you could type in the chat which one you'd prefer, I'll do either method. Okay, pause and write. Give time to answer. Perfect. So the second question is, what does the lotus blossom represent? 3, how would you describe the Diwali festival to someone? And 4, write one thing you have learned or a question you have after watching the video. So I'll put those in the chat. Those are the questions. And then I will open the Padlet and share the Padlet with you as well. So make sure on your Padlet that you write your name somewhere on there so you get credit for today. And then if you could open up the Padlet right now and let me know if it at least like works, just to make sure before we get started. So is the Padlet letting you in? Yes. Okay. Is it working? Like, are you able to type something? Oh, yep. Okay, I see people on there right now. Perfect. Okay, so I will start the video then.
At any time of year, a visitor to India can be overwhelmed by its beauty and color. But a visitor in late fall is especially fortunate. The temperature will have cooled down, the monsoons will have not yet begun, and Diwali, the festival of lights, is at hand. Diwali is to many Indians what Christmas is to Christians. In essence, it commemorates the victory of the forces of light over the forces of darkness.
Yes, I can turn on captions there. So we have the first answer there. What are we going to put in our answer? Or you can start typing. So I would talk about it's very similar holiday for Indians as is Christians to Christmas. So you would talk about oh, you couldn't hear what it was. I'll just replay that part since I have the captions, but pretty much it's the force of light defeating the force of darkness.
At any time of year, a visitor to India can be overwhelmed by its beauty and color. But a visitor in late fall is especially fortunate. The temperature will have cooled down, the monsoons will have not yet begun, and Diwali, a festival of lights, is at hand. Diwali is to many Indians what Christmas is to Christians. In essence, it commemorates the victory of the forces of light over the forces of darkness.
Okay, so we rewatched that part right there, had the captions on, so you should be writing on the Jamboard, the Padlet right now. Yep. Looks good so far. Yep. All those answers are correct. Yep, Kaylin celebrating forces of light over forces of dark. Yep, Sophia looks good. And Waleed, awesome. I think we have everyone answered there, so we'll move on. So the next question we're going to be looking for is, what does the lotus blossom represent? Combined lotus and blossom there together.
Experience it fully, get up before dawn and head for the flower markets. Here, flower vendors work feverishly to create garlands of fragrant jasmine that Indians will use to adorn their homes. By dawn, they'll be sold out. Next, head for one of the temples, but go early. Later on in the day, they'll be packed. On your way over, you may see a curious sight. People hunched in front of their doorways, pouring colored sand on the ground. The sand takes the shape of a lotus blossom, a symbol of welcome. And today, millions of symbols of welcome will grace the nation's doorways.
Okay, so what does the lotus blossom represent? So it's a symbol of welcome. So they make those by their door. So they put the sand in the lotus flower design, and then make colorful lotus blossoms. It's really pretty. Yep, a symbol of welcome. It means welcome. Perfect. Looks good. Awesome. Thank you, Waleed. Okay, so the last questions here, I'm just going to play the entire video and then you answer at the end because they're opinion questions. How would you describe the Diwali festival to someone? And then write one thing you learned or a question you have after watching the video.
Indeed, Diwali is all about sharing. If you're staying in a private home, don't be surprised if the neighbors show up with plates of delicious holiday treats. It's also customary for families to go to the temples together on this day. They often dress in fine new outfits, purchased especially for Diwali. And if their outfits inspire you, head for a sari shop. Shops are open on Diwali, and Indian silks are justifiably famous for their beauty. They're just one of the ways India spruces up and gets into the holiday spirit.
So this is an occasion for all of us to rejoice and be with the family and enjoy all the good things in life. So we buy good clothes and make good food.
And everywhere there are lights. If you head to major commercial districts throughout India, you'll find colorful displays comparable to Christmas lights in Western cities. Some cities also put on spectacular public displays of fireworks, like this one in Delhi. But no matter where you are, there are smaller, more intimate fireworks displays. A long day of celebrations is coming to an end, and it's going out with a bang.
Okay, awesome. So we just finished watching the video here. So you are going to finish up on Padlet here, just the last two questions. So how would you describe the Diwali festival to someone? And then write one thing you learned or a question you have after watching the video. So far I see a colorful celebration of forces of light over dark. Yep. The Diwali festival is a day where people spend time with friends and family. They eat together, dress up nice, and have a fun time together. And there is fireworks too. Looks good. Okay, first question. I wonder how many people are normally all there and how crowded it gets. Yeah, it does look like this is very well attended throughout major cities and throughout India too. So I'm sure it does get really busy. And I remember in the video too, they said that the temples, the later on you go, it gets more packed. That's a good question. And then Carson, Diwali is a festival of light, family, and food. Yep, looks good. It's where people celebrate the festival of lights and the victory of good over evil, and they get to all together and celebrate as one. Perfect. Your responses look awesome today. One question I have is why do they have the fireworks? I get that they're colorful and they are for celebrating, but why? I'm assuming it would have to do about celebrating light because like the fireworks themselves are very colorful and bright and light forward, but I could also be wrong, so do not quote me on that. But just think of too how they have like a bunch of light displays, kind of how you would think here out west when Christmas comes around, or like Vegas all the time is very flashy and very bright and colorful of lights. I'm curious what the food tastes like. It looks scrumptious. Oh my gosh, yes, it did. I would agree with that. It looked amazing. Oh, and then it is a celebration of light, color, food, and family. Perfect way to summarize it there. And then I'm going to end the recording here.